It's 3 a.m. in a sleep laboratory in Chicago. A man named David is lying in a bed that isn't his, covered in sensors. There are electrodes on his scalp, his face, his chest. Every few seconds, a machine records the electrical activity of his brain. His eyes are closed, but they are moving. A technician sitting behind a glass wall sees the movement on a monitor and picks up an intercom. She says, very softly, "David, can you hear me?" The man doesn't wake up, but he does something no one in the history of science had seen before. He responds. Inside his dream, David has been trained, through weeks of practice, to signal to researchers when he knows he's dreaming. 2 left eye movements, pause. 2 right eye movements. The camera on the monitor captures it. He's there, he's dreaming, and he's aware of it. The year is 1975. The researcher is Keith Hearn, working on what will become the first scientifically verified record of a lucid dreamer communicating from inside a dream in real time. And in that moment, without fully realizing it, humanity had just cracked open the first door into the most mysterious room in all of neuroscience. We had found a way to study what happens when you dream. And what we've found since then has rewritten everything. Here's what scientists now believe. You dream for 4 distinct reasons, and none of them are the reasons that Sigmund Freud spent his entire career insisting on. Dreams are not repressed wishes. They are not symbolic messages from your unconscious. They are not random noise. Every dream your brain produces tonight is serving a precise biological function, and understanding those functions will change how you think about sleep, memory, emotion, and what it means to be human. The first reason you dream is memory consolidation. During the day, your brain collects experiences in a region called the hippocampus. Think of it as a temporary holding tank. At night, during the stage of sleep called REM, rapid eye movement, your hippocampus replays those experiences to your cortex. Your cortex sorts them, connects them to existing knowledge, and stores the important ones permanently. This process is so critical that if you are deprived of REM sleep for even 2 nights, your ability to retain new information drops by up to 40%. Students who pull all-nighters before exams aren't studying harder. They are chemically preventing their brains from storing what they learned. But here's the part that gets strange. The replaying process isn't perfect recall. Your brain doesn't just rerun the day's footage, it edits it. It combines fragments in ways that don't follow the rules of waking reality, which is exactly why your dreams feel so bizarre. You're watching your brain's editing suite at work, and what the editor is doing is searching for connections, patterns, the solution to problems you couldn't solve while awake. This is why some of the most significant discoveries in history happened in dreams. The chemist August Kekule famously reported that the circular structure of the benzene molecule came to him in a dream of a snake eating its own tail. Paul McCartney woke up with the melody of Yesterday fully formed in his head. Srinivasa Ramanujan, one of the greatest mathematical minds in history, had claimed that a Hindu goddess visited him in dreams and wrote equations on a blood-red screen. We used to call these stories coincidences, mythology, the romantic delusions of creative people. But neuroscience now has a different explanation. During REM sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, rule-following part of your brain, goes mostly offline. The parts that stay active are the emotional centers, the visual cortex, and crucially, the associative networks that link concepts across entirely different domains. The result is a thinking state that operates on completely different rules than waking consciousness. A state where a snake can become a molecule, where a random morning melody can become the most covered song in history. Your dreaming brain is not less intelligent than your waking brain. It is differently intelligent. The second reason you dream is emotional regulation. Matt Walker, neuroscientist and author of Why We Sleep, describes REM sleep as overnight emotional therapy. Here's how it works. When a painful or frightening experience is initially encoded in your hippocampus, it carries two things: the memory itself and the emotional charge attached to it. During REM sleep, your brain replays that memory while keeping the emotional charge suppressed by reducing levels of a stress chemical called noradrenaline. Over multiple replay cycles, the memory gets filed without its original emotional sting. You remember what happened, but you're no longer hijacked by it. This is why time heals wounds. Not time itself, sleep within that time. This is also why people with PTSD struggle to recover. Their nightmares aren't just bad dreams. They are failed REM cycles. Their brains are trying to process trauma, but can't suppress the emotional charge long enough to complete the filing process. Every nightmare about the event re-traumatizes instead of heals. Understanding this has led to revolutionary treatments. Researchers at the University of Washington have used a blood pressure medication called prazosin, which suppresses noradrenaline, to essentially give PTSD patients the REM sleep their brains are failing to generate on their own. The results have been remarkable. The nightmares stop. The healing begins. Your dreams are not haunting you. They are trying to heal you. The third reason is threat simulation. Finnish researcher Antti Revonsuo proposed what is now called the threat simulation theory of dreaming. His argument is this: the conditions your ancestors lived in, predators, hostile tribes, physical danger at every turn, made it evolutionarily valuable to rehearse threatening scenarios in a safe environment. Dreaming is essentially a flight simulator. Your brain runs you through danger scenarios, activates your fear response, and builds the neural pathways you would need to respond effectively, all without exposing you to actual risk. This explains why nightmares are so universal across all human cultures. It explains why children's dreams are disproportionately filled with monsters and threats. And it explains why the content of nightmares across cultures, regardless of language, religion, or geography, maps onto the same core threats: falling, being chased, losing your teeth, being unprepared for a test. That last one, the exam dream, is particularly fascinating because it doesn't appear in pre-literate cultures. It only appears in societies with formal education systems. Your dream simulator is not running ancestral software. It's updating in real time to simulate the threats of your specific social environment. The fourth reason is creativity and problem solving. And this is the one with the most practical implications for your daily life. Scientists at the Salk Institute discovered that during REM sleep, the brain enters a hyper-associative state. It connects concepts across neural networks that are normally kept separate. This is measurable. Subjects woken from REM sleep consistently score higher on tests of creative problem solving than subjects woken from non-REM sleep, even when the total amount of sleep is identical. The implication is profound. If you are working on a hard problem, a business decision, a creative project, a personal crisis you can't resolve, the most cognitively powerful thing you can do is sleep on it. Not as a metaphor, literally. Your sleeping brain will do work your waking brain cannot. Edison knew this intuitively. He reportedly napped in his lab chair, holding steel ball bearings in his hands. The moment he fell asleep, the bearings would drop. The noise would wake him, and he would immediately write down whatever had been in his mind at the edge of sleep. A state called hypnagogia, where the associative networks activate before the prefrontal cortex can censor them. The most productive hour of his day was the one where he appeared to be doing nothing. So what does all of this mean for you? It means that every time you choose to sleep less to get more done, you are actively dismantling your memory, your emotional resilience, your ability to solve problems, and your brain's nightly threat training program. It means that the dreams you remember in the morning are not random. They are the artifacts of biological processes so sophisticated that we are only now, with the most advanced neuroimaging technology in history, beginning to understand them. And it means that tonight, when you close your eyes and your brain starts building its strange, impossible worlds, you are not escaping reality. You are, in the most literal sense possible, processing it.